Okay, guys, I'll admit it. I bought this game for 2B's ass.
Nice.
To be honest, I didn't know what to expect with this game. All I knew was that it was created by the horniest game director, Yoko Taro. Yeah, I don't know if he's the horniest, but he's up there. And Platinum Games. You know, Bayonetta and...
Stop that plane! Yes! Waiting wide open!
Platinum Games, you know those guys, they're a little important. I knew I was in for some great hack and slash combat, and you know, like I said earlier, there'd be some nice ass, but boy, I was not ready for what I got instead. Okay, now, before I get into the game proper, I need to talk about difficulties. There are 4 difficulties, one for babies, one for normal people, one for people who like a challenge, and one for hardcore masochists. Don't choose this one. Please. I will also note that normal difficulty, its description's a little cheeky. And honestly, that's because this game does break the 4th wall a little bit, but it's not like in your face, like Deadpool types of breaking the 4th wall, so you'll be fine. And I guess I'll just get into the game now. Oh, and if there is a mouse cursor in some of the footage, I couldn't do anything to stop that from being there, even if I moved it to my other screen. It recorded weird. I'm sorry. You're just going to have to deal with it.
Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. Is this a curse? Or some kind of punishment? I often think about the god who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle, and wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him.
Wow, that's pretty edgy there. I'm not liking where this is going.
I liked where it went.
The game starts off with you and your squad mates flying through the skies in a bullet hell sequence to take out a Goliath machine. Slowly, one by one, your squad mates are taken out, including your current commanding officer. 2B, that's you, then takes over as commander of the squad after everyone else fails. She is then authorized to proceed by herself into the factory to complete the mission. After dealing with the onslaught of enemies, she finally sets foot inside the factory.
Alert. Heavy damage. Standard compass laser test estimated. Initiate short range control. Activating short-range attack gear. Alert. Large enemy group detected.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
This is where the hack and slash combat starts, and oh my god, that shit is good. Now, when I first started playing this, I was completely terrible, and the whole on the ground bullet hell segments, which, you know, is pretty cool, and I couldn't do it, you know, and you gotta learn how to dodge, and both of these come with time, and the combat system's actually really deep, but honestly, I gotta get into that a little bit later on. After dealing with the initial wave of mobs, you're greeted to the game's first boss fight. If you can dodge effectively, and you learn how to perfect dodge, you'll be fine. The boss fight finishes with an assist from the deuteragonist of the game, NieR. He introduces himself as a scanner model, who is built for recon and support to help you out since you are the only survivor. Being a battle model, the B in 2B, you fight most of the enemies on foot while he uses a flight unit provided by your headquarters to help you out. The rest of the factory is completely littered with machines, and it's up to you to cut through them and find the Goliath machine. And I'll just say, this game does a good job of making sure you learn its mechanics through pure gameplay and not a slow, boring tutorial. You really feel like you're doing something during the beginning level. You finally leave the factory and there's still no sign of the Goliath machine. With NieR contemplating whether or not Command got some bad intel, the machine springs to life, and now you are fighting 2 of the big salt things instead of just 1. You disable them, and they combine Devastator style to make the Goliath machine, who looks actually kind of like the Michael Bay Devastator in a way. Don't quote me on it. The fight starts and, yeah, first time through, I died. It did some weird bullet hell orb thing and it killed me. And here's the thing. This game doesn't autosave. And not once through the tutorial does it give you an opportunity to save. At first, I was pissed, and rightfully so. I just lost about a half an hour's worth of progress. But as I was replaying the level again, it came to me. This is brilliant. The way this is designed is to make sure you are ready for the main game. If you can't beat the tutorial properly, you have to go through it again and again until you're good enough to handle the rest of the game. And after I realized this, I started to see what kind of game this was, and I knew here and then that this game would do something to me. And it did. I kept on playing, and I beat that damn Goliath. And I watched a pretty cool sequence played out, which resulted in the main characters killing themselves.
It was an honor to fight with you. Truly.
The honor was mine.
And then, you know, you finally get some insight on what the hell you're doing and what the game's backstory is. I would explain it, but I've already talked enough. The game does a decent job of explaining it, so, here you go.
5012 AD. The year mankind's glorious history came to a sudden and abrupt end, when the world was invaded by aliens from beyond the stars. The aliens unleashed a new breed of weapon, machine life forms, that all but annihilated human civilization. The handful of survivors that remained fled from Earth, seeking refuge on the moon. 5204 AD. Humanity launched its counterattack, deploying an army of androids from a network of orbiting bases. But after more than a dozen large-scale descents upon the enemy, we still haven't managed to repel the invaders. That is why you, the Yorha forces, exist. To break this stalemate, once and for all. You are our ultimate weapon, and you must put an end to this war.
Understood, sir.
I wish you good hunting.
Glory to mankind. Glory to mankind.
Glory to mankind.
Yep, humanity is on the verge of extinction because of machines. I mean, it shouldn't be hard, though. Isn't like 71% of Earth or something water? Water plus technology is not good for the technology. So just sit on the water, and then we win. But seriously though, the fate of the Earth is now up to the androids that humanity built as a last-ditch effort to reclaim Earth and vanquish the machines. Oh, you know the whole main characters killing themselves thing? Yeah, it turns out that doesn't matter much, as the androids have memory and body backups in the bunker orbiting the planet. They effectively can't die, really. However, they do need to boot up properly, and this is where this game kinda breaks the fourth wall a little bit.
Are you there? Can you hear me? Hello? Go ahead and adjust your settings so you can hear me, alright? Alright, are we good now?
You are assigned to return to Earth in order to support the resistance and, as always, eradicate the machines. From here on out, I'll talk mainly about gameplay, so buckle up, boys. The combat in this game is tight and responsive, assuming your controller works unlike mine for some reason. You got your standard button layout. X is light attack, Y is heavy attack. With this game's unique pod systems, they also add in for a little bit of space. The pods give you range attacks, which, unless you upgrade it, don't do much damage, but they also have pod programs. These bad boys let you unleash either fairly damaging attacks or give you tactical advantages. Using these pod programs will give you an edge in battle you just may be completely failing at. Unless you're bad, they can't save you from that. Now, with the main combat, the combos from what I've played, which is, the whole game, aren't that great. At least to me. I really just relied on spamming X until I felt like pressing Y, but that's just me. The only hack and slash games I really played were God of War with that good old square triangle, And hey, if that got me through the game, it's good enough, right? Wrong, because there is another element to the combat that needs to be addressed. Plug-in chips. While technically not part of the combat system itself, it's part of the combat system itself. The chips can add a variety of effects to your weapons. From damage increases on your weapons, to damage increases on your charge attacks, to damage increases to you and the enemy if you piss them off by flashing a light in the face, to damage increases on your critical attacks themselves. Yeah, there's obviously a lot more variety, but I'm not getting into that can of worms because there's actually a lot. Point is, build these chips around your playstyle, and I recommend auto healing on any playstyle because that's just a no-brainer. But this game wouldn't be a sprawling JRPG without side quests, right? Yeah, these are actually really good. Well, most of them aren't voice acted. But by the way, did I mention that the English dub for this game is actually really good? Especially 9S's voice actor later in the game. Holy shit, you can tell he loves his job. A couple of the side quests actually made me care about what was going on. The way this game is written is just so good. Never before has a game made me care about side quests so much. Except maybe Persona. Maybe the side quests are engaging because the characters are really good. 2B is the typical no-nonsense, stick-to-the-program type.
Ma'am, I'm glad you're here.
Why?
Scanners like me mostly work alone. Scouting out enemy lines and all that. I don't usually get a partner. It's kind of fun.
Emotions are prohibited.
Sorry, ma'am.
And 9S is more sympathetic and emotional. He is put down by other characters most of the time, and I kind of feel bad for it. And the characters, like the support characters in the operators, are also really good. So everything is just nice and full here. I want to say more, but I haven't mentioned my favorite aspect of the game yet, so I kind of got to keep going. Ah, fuck, I got to talk about the story. I don't want to. It is made apparent fairly early on after landing on Earth that the machines are able to talk. And this takes our android friends by surprise because all they know is machines only follow programming. It's impossible for them to have a will of their own. After an encounter at the nearby amusement park that almost cost both of them their lives, they are greeted by a machine with a white flag. He says that they got rid of the broken machine and he wants to invite you back to his village. 9S is against this, but you go anyway because why not? The machine's got actually really cool voices. After arriving, you meet the entire village. They have white flags to show that they are not hostile, and then you talk to the leader of the village, Pascal. My boy! I love this hunk of metal. He informs you that everyone in this village has been disconnected from the machine network, and they now live for the village and themselves. While 2B and 9S both are in shock and denial, you make peace and decide to coexist with them. Something about these machines made me want to protect them with my life. They are just the most adorable things ever. For instance, there is this one side quest where you must help this big sister machine find her little sister. And once you find her just in the desert, the most wholesome dialogue ever takes place.
No one made the desert. It's just an area that lost all its vegetation due to a lack of precipitation. This caused lasting changes in the soil, which means plants aren't able to... Soil? It's dirt. Ground. The stuff we're walking on? Wind is just a force caused by changes in temperature and atmospheric pressure and... Huh. That's actually a hard question now that I think about it. Kinda deep, really. I mean, where does the wind blow from? What do you think, 2B?
Don't know, don't care.
Well, machines can't really make children. Neither can androids, now that I think about it. To be? Little help here?
Huh? You're the chatty one. Work it out.
Oof. Wow, it's getting late. Let's get you home already.
Or maybe you do another side quest where you help a young machine who isn't listening to his mother. I'll say it as many times as I need to. I love these damn machines. I don't really want to talk about the story too much because at first I thought it was a simple story with a somewhat deep but generic talking point. I even said this in one of James' streams. But then I played the game more. I played through Route B and C, and I have to say, don't spoil the story for yourself, please. This game made me tear up in Route C, and I don't think I ever actually cried over a video game before. Shows? Sure. But a video game? Never. This game just destroyed everything innocent about it, and then hit me over the head twice with the feels bat. Much like Clint. And you know what? I think that's all I want/need to talk about. I wanted to add a spoiler section to my videos if the game has a story, but I don't want to for this game. This is a game that was definitely one of the best games of 2017 without a doubt, and I'm disappointed I skipped out on this game. And while I didn't talk about the soundtrack, this happened.
All right, well now it's my honor to open this envelope and tell you who won Best Score in Music. And the winner is NieR Automata.
Say what you want about the Game Awards, but let me tell you that this game definitely deserved it. And it was against Persona 5. And Cuphead. Think about that. The game is on sale during the writing of the script, which is around Black Friday. I don't know if it will still be if by the time this video comes out, but I would definitely pick that up at some point in time. Beware, however, the PC port for this game is less than stellar. If you have a beast computer, you'll be fine. If you have a mid-range like me, you're not going to be getting a consistent 60. I really never did. But there is a fan fix, much like in Dark Souls, what can help you a bit, especially with cutscenes, so you're not completely on your own. If I have to pick a version, while I have never played it, I recommend the Xbox One Become as Gods Edition, as it comes with the DLC and is a solid port. With all that being said, this has been That Game Review Show. I'm Crabble War 2, and I'll see you again in 3 weeks? This schedule's amazing!